Hello, welcome. This is a video on how to graph absolute value functions. Um, this particular problem suggests that it might be helpful to make a table, and I don't necessarily disagree with that, but I think it's still important to understand the way that kind of graphs move, so you know which values to choose to help you to choose, to get the right uh, picture of what's happening. So, let me explain. If you were to graph, if you were to plot, say, those 5 points on a graph, you were to choose those x values and find those y values, you might think that that's what the graph would look like. But if you didn't choose enough values, you might not know that this goes like this down here, and then maybe right at that point it starts going back up. And so this is the graphs of absolute value functions are v-shaped. And so depending on, if you had chosen then this value, this value, this value, this value, this value, this value, you can get a better idea of what it looks like. So here, I know that my vertex, the general form is y equals a times x minus h plus k. And so my vertex is hk. I'm going to put a little asterisk by the h because, once again, it's kind of counterintuitive. I see that -2 and I want to think that it's -2. No, it's the opposite. And so my vertex in this instance is 2, comma 8. So I go over here, 2, comma 5, 6, 7, 8. So that is my vertex. Now, I also know that since A is -3, that this is going to open down. So I know that it's going to be kind of like that. I know that, generally speaking, that's what it's going to look like. But even just at this point, I can get a pretty good idea. It does say to plot at least 5 points. Now I've got one. I've got the vertex. So if I want to combine this and make a table of values, let me come over here and say, okay, I'm going to copy this real quick. Y equals -3, absolute value x minus 2, and then plus 8. And let's say I'm going to choose values at 1, 3, 0, and 4, so I can get an idea of what this looks like. So x here, 0, 1, 3, and 4. And the reason I didn't choose 2 was because we already saw that 2, that's where the vertex is. So then you just plug these values in. So if I got -3, absolute value, 0 minus 2, close absolute value, plus 8. So then I got -3 times absolute value, 0 minus 2 is -2, and that's plus 8. Now, if I take the absolute value of that -2, I'm going to write -3. I'm going to change it to parentheses because absolute value -2 is +2, plus 8. So then I've got -6 plus 8, and that would give me 2. So at 0, I'm at 2. Now, I would expect then that the value at 4 would also be 2 because of the symmetry, right? But I'm gonna look. Let's check. So -3 absolute value, 4 minus 2 plus 8. -3 absolute value of 2 plus 8. -3 times 2 plus 8, and that's -6 plus 8, which is 2. Once again, here at 4, we're at 2, so we see that symmetry coming through. Which means we've found the right value for the axis of symmetry, the vertex. And so now I can look at 1. What happens at 1? I'm going to do this again here. -3, absolute value, 1 minus 2, and then plus 8. That's -3. Absolute 1 minus 2 is -1 plus 8. And then the absolute value, -3 times the absolute value -1, which is +1. So I'm going to change those to parentheses. And then plus 8. -3 times 1 is -3 plus 8, and that would be 5. So at 1, we're at 5. And that's right up here. And then again, because we know of the symmetry, we can just plot that point right there across from that axis of symmetry, the same distance across. There's 1 unit, there's a 1 unit. So that's the way that looks. And the other thing here is that because this is -3, notice that as I move to the right, this goes down 3 over 1, down 3 over 1. So it's also the slope. And I can continue from that point. Even if I didn't get more points, I can see the way the pattern goes. I go down 3 over 1, down 3 over 1, down 3 over 1. And that's the way this is going to continue. In the other side, it's just the opposite. Down 1, back 1. Down 3, back 1. Down 3, back 1. And so then I can plot or just sketch that line through those points. And it's going to look like that and like that. And there you have it. That's what this looks like. Make sure you show your work. Study hard. You got this.